Yo, yo, yo. Mic check 1 2 1 2. See here. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Getting everything set up here. Getting everything set up. Salute to my guy Raj Will in the building. Raj Will first in the building. Raj Will. Yo, since you in the building first, man, hey, let me know how the volume is sounding, my brother. If you could please, I did some tests on my own, before I started the live stream. I did some tests on my own before I started the live stream, man. But I gotta get some feedback. Yeah. Audio a bit lower than recommended. You see, that is the problem with technology, is that when you customize and create your own settings, sometimes technology limits you. Sometimes technology holds you back. But nevertheless, we shall go forward in the name of the Lord. We shall go forward in the name of YouTube. We shall go forward in the name of Zone 864 TV / Zone 864 Radio, since this is an audio only broadcast. If you are joining in the live chat, please make sure you hit that like button. I'm trying to impersonate, I don't know, an Australian British English accent. I don't know if I'm being successful or if I'm failing horribly. In my mind, I'm successful, but on the other end, I could be failing horribly. So it's on you guys to let me know if I'm succeeding or I'm failing. We will be getting into the Gene Deal Art of Dialogue interview. We will be getting into the Gene Deal telling, the runneth of the mouth. Good afternoon, Classy Creole. Good afternoon, Classy Creole. Please make sure you hit that like button as we move forward today. With today's broadcast, we will be getting started here in probably about maybe 10 minutes or so. We want to let the live stream run in. We want to let the live stream run a little bit while I run my mouth a little bit so that we can get into the algorithm. Because sometimes people are late to the party. And I'm not talking about a Diddy party either. With the Astroglide and the baby oil and the pink, what is it? The pink COCAINE. It's still early in the algorithm, so I'm trying to watch what words I say. It's been a little while since I've been live. When was the last time that I went live? The last time was approximately 13 days ago. Approximately 13 days ago was the last time I went live, and I thought that was a great live. We went live for roughly about 1 hour and 39 minutes, and we got about 11,000 likes over that span of time, which I think is pretty good for a guy with no subscribers. Well, I have subscribers now. I have about 235. I have 235 subscribers. Prior to that live stream, I only had about 160 subscribers. So I would like to come out of the closet, no Diddy, and publicly thank everyone for liking my previous live stream and also subscribing to the channel. Cynical One has arrived. The Cynical One has arrived. Please make sure you are hitting that like button. That like button is very important. Oh yes, we are going to get into the live stream. We are, but we are going to cook here for just a little bit. As you know, I have a channel. And I have a channel, and sometimes we cover serious things. We might talk a little bit about politics and what's going on in the world, and sometimes we might talk about 304s, as we say over there in the land of the Tasmania over in Australia. Might talk about the 304s, walking these streets and selling their box, turning a little trick here and there. These women taking advantage and getting rich off of these thirsty, blood-sucking ticks who have low self-esteem and low value of themselves. It's such a shame that, you would come into this world as a man and you would go so low as to purchase the box. What a bloody shame. What a bloody shame. Classy Creole, thank you. Thank you for the happy Father's Day. I must admit. Well, let me talk regular for this part. And I'm gonna get back to my acting. I'm gonna get back to my audition voice for my movie role that I'm preparing for. That's why I'm talking like that. Father's Day. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I hate Father's Day. Let me not use hate. I don't like Father's Day because hate is a strong word. I don't like Father's Day. I don't. And this Father's Day is probably going to be the most difficult one for me. I'm not going to go into all the details. Well, I'll tell you one part of the detail. This is going to be the first Father's Day in 36 years I ever I don't get to have my grandfather on the planet. Because for those of you that already know, I was raised by my grandparents, and my father, I have a biological father, but, my grandfather is, like my grandfather is like my father, and he is my father, and he is my father's father. And the funny thing about it is that me and my dad are so close in age that, sometimes, we don't see eye to eye on things because we're so close in age. My father is only 16 years older than me. So, my grandfather, not only was he my father, but he was my father's father. Salute XL Pro in the building. And not only was my grandfather a father to me, but He was a father to dozens of people. He was a father to dozens of people. Now, the other half of why this Father's Day is kind of irritating is because, you know, I am having some challenges. I am having some challenges with my daughter's mother. I am having some challenges with her. And it's funny, it's really funny how, you know, women will take advantage of a good man. They really will. They will take advantage. They will take full advantage of the kindness of a good man. And I know that word good man is controversial because, you know, really they kind of say there is no good man, but I'm just using that term in enlightenment of the conversation. And, you know, it's really crazy because when you spend so long with a person and when a relationship comes to an end and the situation starts to go from positive to negative and you start to receive so much resistance from the other end just because you might have moved on with your life. Maybe the lady that you with, you know, maybe she thinks that, you're trying to, you know, switch it up or whatever. And so that could cause all kind of changes within a woman's thinking. And it's crazy because, you know, when you're in a relationship and you claim to be in love with someone or you claim to have, you know, a lot of love for someone and it just ends and then a lot of the BS starts to happen that you never thought would ever happen in a million years. It's crazy to me. And it does make you think you know, did this person ever really rock with me like they said they did? You know what I mean? Was this person really with me the way that they said that they were? Or was it all just some BS? Was it just enjoying the ride while the ride was good? And when the ride starts to get a little bit bumpy, now you want to jump off the carousel. And now you want to try to be a cog in the carousel. And on top of that, and I appreciate everybody with the condolences. Appreciate, you know, one thing about life is that we all going to lose people. Eventually, we're going to go one day. We're no longer going to be here one day. You know, and my grandfather got to enjoy 100 summers before he left here. And the funny thing is, the more and more I think about it, 100 summers ain't ish. 100 summers ain't ish. You hear me? My grandfather was born in 1924. And 2024 came just like that. 2002. He was born, think about that, guys. He was born in 1924 and 2024 came around just like that. Just like that. Last year, when I went back to Greenville, South Carolina for my grandfather's XL Pro says my grandfather lived to be 98, my mom 85. That's what's up. Now, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. 100 years is a long time. 98 is a long time. 85 is a long time. But when you really sit down and think about it, 1924 was so long ago, but it was yesterday. June 1st would have been my grandfather's 101st birthday. And it's crazy because it's like, last year when we was back home in Greenville, South Carolina, we were planning on actually going back to Greenville this year, this June. There was nothing gonna hold us back from, my grandfather just passed. He just passed. He just passed at the end of February, beginning of March. He just passed, y'all. He almost made it. He fought to the very end, but it's crazy because I didn't know my grandfather, he managed his body and his health as best he could. And I didn't really know how much, I guess you could say, suffering or pain he was in until he passed away because, I'm not the one that's taking care of him. My aunt, uncle are taking care of my grandfather, was taking care of my grandfather and my grandmother back home. And I didn't realize, how much, even though he was walking around and, talking and things like that, I didn't realize how much he was ready to go until my aunt told me after, he had passed. And you want to know what's crazy? So the way that he passed away, first of all, he passed away in his daughter's home, my aunt, in his bedroom. And he was in hospice care. And so the way that it was told was that, now keep in mind, this is not at a facility, this is at a home. The way that it was told was that my cousin, my grandfather's niece, and my aunt, my grandfather's daughter, walked out the room to grab a snack, right? They come back downstairs literally not 2 hours later, not an hour later, a few minutes after leaving the room, and he was gone. And so when I was talking to my mom, telling her about that, my mom was telling me, this is how it is. That's when people are get ready to go, when they get ready to leave, you know what I'm saying? That's typically how it is. And so my mom was telling me that the reason that he probably waited until they left the room is because he knew, because this is what we don't realize. We don't realize that when people are in a coma or people are conscious but unconscious, they can still hear. And in fact, there have been studies that say that your hearing actually doubles or triples what it is when you're actually conscious, because when one sense is gone, your other senses tend to magnify and get stronger to compensate for what's gone. So when his body sensed that the room was quiet, that's when he made his exit. And my mom was telling me that, typically that's how it goes. And I think that's how my great grandmother went, if I'm not mistaken. And my mom was also telling me that, the reason that he probably stayed too long was because he knew that we wanted him here. Like, he knew that we wanted him to stay. So he had to leave when the coast was clear. And the funny thing about that is me and my mom didn't raise me until I was damn near in high school. So by the time that my mom was getting full custody of me, I was basically a teenager, almost a teenager at that point. So the funny thing is, anybody who also knows me knows that, you know, my relationship with my mom has not been the best because, you know, when my mom was young, she was 18. She had me when she was young. So because she was young when she had me, you know, finances is tough. My grandparents were retired at that time. My father was still in high school. You know, then you have two young people that have a baby. So it's no way possible. And you're talking about the 80s. You know, I'm an 80s baby. You're talking about the 80s. So you're talking about drugs. You know, you're talking about a chaotic time, you know? So there's no way in the 1980s that a 16-year-old and an 18-year-old are going to be raising a child. They don't got no place to stay. They both live with their parents. You know, they both was fooling around. You know, and here I come. You know. And so that's why me and my mother had a rocky relationship, and it's better now. But my grandparents were my parents the first, you know, for the first formative years of my life, basically up until I was a teenager. You know, and you know something crazy, when I went back home for my grandfather's 100th birthday celebration, you know, my people, my father, my grandfather, them, you know, we're Trinidadian. So they come from Trinidad and Tobago, right? So when they came over here in 1968, which was actually one of the worst times to immigrate to America, one of the worst years to immigrate to America, my cousin got up on stage and he was like, you know, he had tears in his eyes because he was my grandfather was my older cousin's father as well, from what I understand. Make sure y'all hit that like button. And my cousin said, if you're in this room, raise your hand. Raise your hand if you ever went to live with my grandfather and his wife, my grandmother. When you first came to Trinidad, raise your hand when you first came to the States if you lived with my grandfather and my grandmother. He said his uncle and his aunt because that's what they are to him. But to me, it's my grandmother, my grandfather. Do you know that there were probably, if I had to guess, maybe 70, anywhere from like 70 to 90 people in this room? Do you know that probably half of that room raised their hands? Half of the people in that room raised their hands because when they were first immigrating from Trinidad to the United States, well, to Brooklyn, to be more specific, when they were first immigrating from Trinidad to Brooklyn, all of my family and friends, family friends, they all went to live with my grandmother and my grandfather first before they got their foundation and their footing. And so from there, everybody moved from the islands to Brooklyn, from Brooklyn to South Carolina, from Brooklyn to Florida. So that's where the majority of my family is: Trinidad, New York, South Carolina, and Florida. And then, you know, I got some many families scattered on the West Coast. You know, I'm on the West Coast. So, so this will be my first Father's Day in 36 years without my grandfather. Yeah, classy Creole. Now I am second generation. I'm second generation in the States. You know what I mean? And I want to throw this out there too, because I know this is a popular thing. Yes, I'm Trinidadian. Okay. My father's side is Trinidadian. But guess what? My mother's side, from slavery, from South Carolina, FBA, foundational Black American. So I want to put that out there because, people like to take sound clips and, he's a tetherer, and all of this kind of stuff. First of all, let me explain something to y'all. Because people do use that term tether incorrectly. A tether is a foreign coon. Like, for instance, how Charleston White is a coon, right? Now, Charleston White, he's funny to watch. Charleston White is a coon. He is a coon. Some of the stuff he says is right, and some of the stuff he says is definitely wrong. Charleston White is a foundational Black American coon. He's a coon. A tether is a foreign coon. So when I'll give you an example. When you hear these immigrants come over here from Africa and they talk down on Black Americans, on foundationally Black Americans, oh, we're lazy. Oh, you're broke. Oh, you guys don't do anything. Oh, you guys don't deserve reparations. Those are tethers. A tether is a foreign coon. That is what a tether is. Now, you can be from Trinidad. You can be from Jamaica. You can be from Haiti. You can be from whatever, Black nation. And you could be a Jamaican here in America. You could be a Trinidadian here in America. You could be a Haitian here in America. That doesn't make you a tether. What makes you a tether is when you start talking down on the Black Americans, the foundational Black Americans that went through chattel slavery, that fought in every war, that went through civil rights so that you and your Black ass could be here. That is what makes you a tether when you start talking against us. And I can say us because my mother is foundationally Black American. And I don't care if you're my friend or not. And trust me, I have friends of all different ethnicities, all different type of Black ethnicities. I have friends of Jamaican ethnicity, of Trinidadian ethnicity. And yes, I have heard you speak down on Black Americans. I have heard you speak badly about Black Americans. I have heard you criticize the foundational Black American lineage. It's not a movement. It's a lineage, and there is no leader. There is no leader of a lineage. And this is what people don't understand. This is what makes people ignorant when they don't take the time to understand exactly what things are. Okay, in order for you to get reparations, in order for you to repair the economic atrocity that has happened to a specific group of people, you have to become tribal. You have to have tribal codes. You have to have legislation. You have to have a specific term in order to present an argument to the United States of America. And you have to be able to, with that term, you have to be able to cite historical specifications that happen. And so when we say the term foundational Black American, FBA, it's not to disrespect people who come from the islands. It's not to disrespect people that come from Africa. It's not to disrespect anybody that's not foundational Black American. It is to identify a specific group of people for a specific purpose. No one can say that a Black person from Nigeria isn't Nigerian. But when we coin ourselves, those of us who identify with that lineage, when we coin ourselves foundational Black American, that's disrespectful. That's just, when we say foundational Black American, that's just like saying a Nigerian is from Nigeria or a Ghanaian is from Ghana. There is no difference. And see, because they actually have a specified title with their country and their lineage, when in their country, they actually are entitled to things. When they come over to the United States and they have to go through these embassies because they're a Ghanaian or Nigerian or, whatever African country or Haitian or whatever, with that title and lineage also comes privileges and all kind of rights, that your average FBA is really not going to be privy to. And it's funny because, I see people want to talk about Tariq Nasheed. And the reason I'm talking about Tariq Nasheed is because he is the one. Now, foundational Black American existed before Tariq Nasheed. Let's get that out the way. But I'm speaking on that because a lot of people want to hate and say, oh, yeah, he's just trying to come up with something for money. And I don't like his ideology. First of all, it's not an ideology, you stupid moron. It's a lineage. Just like before foundational Black American, Dr. Claude Anderson suggested that we call ourselves Native Black American. The only problem with that is it ties us in with specific indigenous groups that already exist. And, we're not a part of those indigenous tribes. And obviously you can tell by the color of your skin, the texture of your hair, your facial features, even the part of wherever you were born in this country. So that's why the term Native Black American really didn't go anywhere, because anytime you put that word native, even though foundational Black Americans are native to this American soil, when you put that word native in front of Black, well, then, let's say you open up a casino, well, now the Navajos are going to want to come get their cut, and the Cherokee is going to want to come get their cut. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because it has the word native in it. So you have to be smart and you have to research. Just like, for instance, even before FBA, you had ADOS, American Descendants of Slaves. And that was a dope title. But the problem with that is it's still not specific enough to Black people that have a rooted foundation in the development of this country, going back to the 1775 or 1776 census. And people want to say, oh, how do you know that you were here? Well, okay. Yeah, we're not going to have records. We're not going to have records readily available because the non-melanated man, the mayonnaise people, they make it so they destroyed it. They hide stuff. They have stuff hidden away in their attics, in their basements, and all of these top secret buildings in Washington, D.C. and spread across. They have the documents. The Mormon Church has a lot of the documents as well. So the best way to know if you had people here during the foundation of this country is who can you find that is related to you that were on that first census, and maybe even that second or third census. Because what you got to understand, what people got to understand is that a lot of people here now, their people haven't been here for more than half a century. Their people haven't been here for more than 1 century. You see? You see? Now, I'm not going to lie. Even though me and my mother didn't have the best relationship in the past, I thank God that my mother is who she is, because me growing up, me being in South Carolina, around foundational Black people, allowed me to experience the life of a foundational Black person. Now, had I been raised in Trinidad, or had I been raised in Brooklyn my entire life, had I been raised in those two places, I probably would be like, I ain't Black, I'm Trinidadian. You know what I mean? I ain't Black. I don't identify as Black. I'm Trinidadian. Yeah, Puerto Ricans, my brothers. Yeah, Dominicans, my brothers. Because, you know, a lot of those people that come from specific melting pots, they don't identify with the Black grassroots. They don't identify with being Black. They identify with what they're in, which is understandable because it's where you're at. But the problem is that when issues happen in society, it doesn't affect everybody the same. It doesn't affect everybody the same. For instance, you got chaos. You got chaos all over the country right now. You got chaos all over the country right now with the Ice Cube raids. Not the rapper Ice Cube, but with the Ice Cube raids. Okay? And that situation, see, it doesn't affect foundational Black people the way that it affects them. Just like when foundational Black people went through segregation, when we went through slavery, when we went through civil rights, when we went through Reconstruction, it didn't affect everybody else the way that it affected foundational Black people, did it? You know, and this is not a who had the worst struggle, but the fact of the matter is that we all, as different groups of people, we all go through struggles based on whatever time society is in. You know what I mean? When Obama was in office, that was the best time to become an immigrant, to become a citizen, because if I'm not mistaken, they had this thing called the DACA program or something like that, and the Dreamers Act and all of this kind of stuff. And there were problems where you had where they tried to say that if you have a child here legal, but your parents are illegal, we got to send your parents back. So obviously, if we send your parents back, then they got to send your child back, right? Now, I'm not here to delve into details about that, but just off top, as a human being, that sounds crazy. So if I'm not mistaken, what the Obama administration did was they created a program to where if you've been here a certain amount of time and you had a child here, you could actually become a citizen. And same time, right? Same time that was going on. What was going on for foundational Black people? You had the Black Lives Matter movement. Now, the Black Lives Matter movement is different than the Black Lives Matter organization, because the Black Lives Matter organization was ran by some thieving lesbians and trans people and queer people and all of that kind of stuff. And the objective for the Black Lives Matter organization was to advocate for Black people as long as they don't have a Black father in the home. Now, the Black Lives Matter movement was, against police brutality. Y'all gonna quit laying down these Black bodies in the streets, or we gonna deal with you. The same way that y'all, quote unquote, allegedly dealing with us, we gonna deal with you. That was the Black Lives Matter movement. So you see how two different issues. So while the immigrants who were illegal and had children here, which made them U.S. citizens, while that was going on, black people was dealing with, police brutality all over again, like it was 1992. You understand what I'm saying? Now, when we fast forward to 2025, look what's going on. It's not the foundational black people. It's a different group of people. And this is why you have to coin terms. This is why you have to get terms put in legislation. This is why you have to try all approaches to get reparations until nothing works. And this is what people don't understand. Oh, you're never going to get reparations. That may be so, but that ain't going to stop us from trying, Nick. That ain't going to stop us from trying, Nick. We might not get it today. It might be 100 years down the line when none of us is here. But as long as we get it, we good. As long as we keep fighting for it, we good. You feel me? Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all see that the algorithm is moving a little bit slow today, but it's all good, man. It's all good. We here. I just wanted to get that off my chest. Because I'm not one of these content creators that, even though we react to things on this channel, I got my own thoughts. I got my own commentary, man. You know what I'm saying? And I'll tell you one more thing before we get started. What I can't understand for the life of me, right, is the so-called tethers that come over here. The black people from other lands, right? I don't understand. Okay, you have your problems with foundational black American people, fine. What I don't understand is how you can't rock with us, how you don't like us, how you have a problem with us. We created hip hop. We created rap. We created a way for y'all to get rich. We created a way for y'all to feed y'all family. We created a way for y'all to have a good time, dance, and party. We created a way for y'all to relax your mind, to unwind. We created a way for you to get yourself amped up while you're on your way to work. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the foundational black American men. How can you hate us? How can you hate us? Because foundational black American men are some of the most stand tall, riding for you dudes on the planet. You know what I mean? No other group of black men on the planet really, when it comes to standing up to the system of white supremacy, no other group of black men stands up to the system of white supremacy like foundational black American men do. And then as far as the foundational black American women, look how fat their asses are. Okay, my people come from Trinidad on my father's side. Okay, let me tell y'all something. Women, yes, there are beautiful women over there. Okay, but they don't eat. They don't eat as much. The nutrition isn't is different over there. They don't eat as much. Y'all come over here, y'all be smashing these foundational black American women because they got some fat asses. Yeah, and yes, I may criticize things that black women do from time to time. That doesn't mean I don't like black women. I'm not one of these dudes that's red pill raging and these black women, these 304s, man. Listen, I'm a decent travel dude. Okay, none of these other black women got fat asses like foundational black American women do. These foundational black American women got some fat asses. And I'm actually not an ass person. I'm a titty person. I like titties. Like, that's my thing. Like, titties turn me on. Like, even if you're a foundational, you can't be my friend platonically as a woman coming over here with your shirt half unbuttoned and your cleavage is showing. That's going to turn me on. I'm gonna want to get busy with them titties. Like, I don't give a F. Like, that's my thing. Like, yeah, big asses, I mean, they're nice and everything like that, but yeah, I mean, shit, I like the titties. You feel me? And I ain't afraid to deny it. Yeah, I mean, just like I told my chick, man. I don't like ass like that. I like titties. I'm all about the titties. And the funny thing too is, like, you know what I'm saying? I don't even like, the funny thing is, my chick, she don't really got big breasts or a big behind like that. She's like a normal. It's funny because, like, she tell me she be like, all the women in my family got thickness. All of the women in my family got bigger breasts and big butts, right? And she's from Chi-Town. She's from Chi-Town, so you know them Chi-Town chicks be thick, man. You know what I'm saying? They be thick. And you know Chi-Town is FBA because where Chi-Town people come from? They come from Mississippi. They come from Alabama. They come from Georgia. They come from the Carolinas. Those are FBA people. Those are FBA people in Chicago mostly. When it comes to black people. But yeah, yeah, I'm not ashamed. Like I'll tell her, like, you can be my friend platonically, a chick, right? And you know, I will tell you, like, hey, you know, I see that right there. You might want to cover that up because I like that. You know what I'm saying? And see, the thing is, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. And see, that's the thing. Listen, you know, I tell my chick, I'm like, listen, I'm a content creator. I'm a broadcaster. I'm a rapper. I'm a musician. You know, I'm an artist. So part of me is being honest. Part of me is being honest, and part of me is, you know, putting a little bit of information out there sometimes, maybe a little bit too much, but you know, that's what comes with being what I am. You know, you have to be authentic. You know what I'm saying? Classy Creole says Zone must have been a breastfed baby. I don't know. I might have been. I don't know. I might have been. You know, and I'm not saying I'm the smartest dude in the world, but some of my colleagues, they're a little bit slow. So I think they might have been on that Similac shit that got all them heavy metals in it. That be causing them to think slow. You know, every time they call you on the phone, they be like, so what's up, man? What we doing tonight? You know what I'm saying? What we doing? You wanna go to the pool hall? Nigga, what is you saying? Speak clearly. Talk clearly. What is you saying? I don't understand that. There's not one person in my family on my father's side that hasn't went to college. That's right. From my grandfather on down to me, on down to my youngest brother who's in Arizona, who's at Arizona State University right now. We all went to college, every last one of us. And yeah, I know I be acting like I don't got all the marbles, but that's on purpose. I want people to think I'm slow, so that when people slip up and they start talking about stuff they don't know about, I'll be like, They ain't ready for the response I'm about to give them. So for me personally, I play slow. I don't want you to know how intelligent I am. That's like I'll be telling my chick when it comes to her job, right? Because her boss keeps telling her that she's up for a promotion. I'm like, you better quit showing them how hard of a worker you are. You better start playing dumb around that bitch. You better start acting like you don't know shit. You know what I'm saying? Because when you start showing how much you know, that's when they start trying to put more tasks on you and trying to give you more duties without raising your pay. That's the name of the game. The name of the game is to act broke and be slow. And look at titties. Well, that's just what I do. Y'all don't got to do that. But that's just me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I tell her, I'm like, hey, man, you better quit. You better quit trying to be a superstar. You better stay within your bounds. They've been talking about they gonna promote you to assistant manager for 13 years now. They still ain't did it yet. And you keep trying to show them how good of an employee you are. Yes, sir. Yes, We ain't slaves no more. We made it off that plantation. Forget all that. But yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, and see, here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? The thing is, even though I'm in a relationship, right? Like, I'm gonna be honest, like, I don't care about my chick getting mad at me for being honest, right? Like, and see, here's the thing. Ladies should want a man like me. Because I'm gonna get on a microphone and I'm gonna tell you what's going through my mind. I'm gonna tell you exactly like what I don't like, even if it makes you mad. Whereas if you have a man that's not like me, you're gonna be like, you're not gonna have as much insight on your man. And she might hear this. I might get cussed out. I might get cussed out, but it's all good. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? What is it? What is it? You know, how we can talk about pride. You know, we can, it's okay to talk about pride, right? Oh, everybody's accepted. Oh, everybody's God's child. Everybody's accepted here. Everybody's welcome here. But when a man start talking about how much he loves titties, it's a problem. Like, that don't make no sense. You know? And I've said this before. I've told my lady this, and I'll say it in public. If it was up to me, right, I would have 2 wives. Maybe even more than 2, but I don't think I can handle 2 because I can barely handle 1. You know what I'm saying? And when I say handle 1, I'm talking about, you know what I mean, the emotion, the hormones. Oh, it's this time of month, you know, and she want to start complaining. I'm not about to deal with that shit more than one. I ain't about to deal with that shit twice. Like, y'all are. You know, and then imagine you having more than one girl. You know, they say that when you have more than one girl living with you, you know, their cycles start to align. You know what I mean? They start howling at the wolf. Together, waking you up out of sleep. You'd be like, what the hell is that? What is that? You know what I mean? They end up bonding and stuff. I ain't about to deal with that twice. Are you kidding me? You know? But I had to be a man and realize, like, I'm 36, but I'm an old ninja. I'm an old ninja. You know, I played I played football in high school, you know, ran track and field in college and in high school. Don't listen. At this age, I wouldn't even play a game of flag football with you ninjas. Because if y'all mess around and hit me the wrong way, I'm gonna be ready to fight. Okay? 36-year-old zone is not the same as 17-year-old zone. Okay, I haven't been in the gym in God knows how long. Every time I'll be thinking about going to the gym, I wake up the next day like, yeah, fuck this shit. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. Yeah, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button. We're gonna go ahead and get started on this Gene Deal situation. All right. So let me know. Let me know. Raj Will says you're not supposed to get hit in flag football. I know you're not supposed to get hit, but sometimes you listen. See, the thing about men, right? You know, these men, it might let's say it's some chicks watching. They might try to hit you to try to stunt. They might try to hit you to try to say that they're more masculine than you and say it's an accident. Yeah, I mean, they might try to hit you to do some nonsense. You know? So that's why I said that, because you might be trying to play fat flag. Ooh, I said that. You might be trying to play flag football, but they out for something else. You know what I'm saying? Classy Creole says, at least you ain't on a walker like Raj. Hey Raj, what kind of walker you got, man? You got the one with the tennis balls on the front of it. I always thought that was crazy when people put the tennis balls on the front of it. Like, why don't you just get some wheels? You know what I'm saying? You know, but man, listen, take care of your body as long as you can, man. Take care of your body as long as you can. And I want to say this, man. Ladies, cover your ears. Ladies, cover your ears because this might be a little bit graphic. But fellas, man, listen. Listen, if you like eating coochie, man, you got to have one girl. You got to have one girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't going to put too much of my information out there, but yo, that's what I used to like to do back in the day. You know what I'm saying? That's what I used to, they call me seafood lover. There is no other. But that's what I used to like doing back in the day. But check this out, right? Because I've been seeing stuff. They say that you can get throat cancer. First of all, I don't even know how y'all ninjas be eating booty. That's crazy. But anyway, I ain't never ate no booty in my life. They say, oh, well, if you eat the coochie, you're eating booty. Bullshit. Bullshit. I don't remember ever tasting no booty. All right. You know, a lot of these chicks don't even know how to wash their ass right. Y'all over here eating booty. She come home after a long day of work and you know your thirsty simp ass talking about some I want to taste it. Oh, I was ready to taste it. She ain't even showered. I wanna see how it is after a hard day of work. I wanna taste it. Thirsty for that booty, baby. I'm trying to remember that song by the king of R&B. I don't want to say his name. I gotta know, but I got a sweet tooth. I can't remember. Y'all, it was on the Double Up song. This one goes out to all of the something. When I met you when I was I got to have it. But first I gotta know some less sweet too. Let me see. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Carrick to Eric says, "Hey man, do you play Euro Truck Simulator 2?" Now, Carrick, I don't know if that's how you talk, but when I read that question, like that's kind of how it sounds like you're asking a question. No, I don't play Euro Truck 2. I only play with titties. I don't even know what that is, man. What is that? Is that a video game? Oh, wait, but let me not get sidetracked. Okay. So the reason they saying that you could get throat cancer by, or sick by eating coochie, right? Well, they're saying the reason why is because a lot of people a lot of men don't vet the chicks that they be going down on. And a lot of these chicks be having HPV, which is the human papillomavirus or something like that, right? And so when that gets into your system, like if you keep doing that repetitively, it's going to be hard for the bacteria to, to kill itself. And this doctor was saying, she was on Corey Holcomb's show, was saying that the people that end up getting that, throat cancer and stuff like that from going down is because their bodies were not able to destroy that virus or whatever. So if you're going to go down on your chick, and I'm going to keep it 100. See, that's the thing, right? They say that what? Too much of a good thing is a bad thing. Well, when going down on a chick is natural Viagra. Like for me, I can't speak on everybody, but and chicks don't act like when y'all be smushing all up on your dude face. Don't act like y'all don't be seeing, what y'all be seeing. Hit the like button. You know what I mean? I'm trying to keep it as clean as possible without getting dirty. But hit the like button. Don't act like your man don't be liking what he doing when y'all be, I mean? I can't breathe. All that shit. Let me see. Character Eric says, you should try it. It's a game where you drive a truck in Europe, my man. All right, I'm going to look into it. But hey, Character Eric, if you're not subscribed to the channel, man, subscribe. Hit that like button. But we about to get started on this Gene Deal thing, all right? Y'all should be able to hear this. Let's go.
My guy, Gene Deal, week 4, Diddy trial. Got to talk about it, man. I heard they allowed you back up there, yo.
They allowed me back there? They never stopped.
All right, so pause it right here. Let me know if y'all can hear that. Let me know if y'all can hear that. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear the audio. Cool.
stop me from coming up there, bruh. You know, you can't be listening to these people out here, man, that's trying to get content, trying to get me on their show like you. They they'll make up anything, bruh. Don't listen to these people, bruh. The marshals did, when I did come up there, did pull me to the side and said somebody made a complaint that I had assaulted them, and they had no tape, no video of it or nothing like that. And I didn't cop to nothing. They just told me from this point on, you know, stay away from the YouTubers, and please don't put your hands on nobody. And I said, nah, I wouldn't do that, man. You know, we good, we all right. And so his complaint went on deaf ear. So
why don't
Commercial break. But yeah, Gene, first of all, you shouldn't be trying to fight nobody at your age, man. Let's go.
it is what it is. I'm back there every other day or every day, you know, whatever I want to. You know, I see YouTubers are getting put out. They out there acting a damn fool, bro. Like, it's crazy. It's like, I can't even explain grown people acting in that manner and what they're doing. So I'm back down there. You know, I'm still getting the people screaming and hollering, saying crazy stuff, but I overlook that. I'm not gonna let none of that shit define me, man. I'm just down there to see justice get done and justice be served, and that's what it's doing. In my eyes, they doing a damn good job, brother. So people don't understand. I've been doing this since 1997, man. Since I sat down.
Oh yeah, and this is fair use as well. Matter of fact, hold on. Let me see. Fair use. Hold up. All right, so I'm using this audio under the fair use statute. This is for commentary, criticism, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and or research. All right, so fair use. Let's go.
With Miss Wallace, Nick Bloomfield, A&E, MTV, VH1. They all got tapes and footage on me telling the same story, telling how Diddy was way back when. So the trolls can say what they want to say. I got people even saying that I started talking about Diddy when he went to jail. So you know that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? So like my man said, you can't fix stupid, bruh.
Now, I will say for people that's new to Gene Deal, and if you think Gene Deal is just in the forefront because Diddy's in jail going through trial, nah, Gene has been around for a long time telling. He's been telling on himself, he's been telling on other people, and he's been telling on Diddy. Let's go.
Ain't nothing you could do to fix stupid. So let them be what they want to be, man. They all trying to get clicks and views, bro. That's all it's all about, man.
You're damn right we're trying to get clicks and views. We gonna eat off of Gene Deal. We gonna eat off of Diddy Pause. We gonna eat off anybody that's out here being reckless. You know what I mean? We gonna eat off that. That's content. We gonna chop it up. We gonna critique it. We gonna talk about it. Let's go.
That's all I'm trying to get, clicks and views. Let's get on with the show, brother. You know what I'm saying?
I heard Diddy almost got removed from the courtroom. What's the backstory behind that?
Yo, man, Diddy is, you know, I guess his mind is gone, bruh. You know what I'm saying? I've seen him like say stuff to the judge, you know, like, I want to go to break now. And the judge said, okay, we'll break. And I'm looking like, damn. So this time, but the judge, he took that upon himself, you know, but he didn't take it lightly when he went at the jury. Diddy looked at the jury in a way and just started nodding his head, like when a certain person was giving their testimony. So when he was doing that, the judge immediately stopped because it seemed like he was trying to either antagonize or he was trying to like.
All right, we got a commercial break, but we are talking about Gene Deal telling in week 4. He's discussing the details of the Diddy trial because he's been at the courthouse, you know what I mean, collecting evidence, you know what I mean, doing his police work and all that. Let's go.
Throw some kind of sign or say something to the jury that the judge wasn't even going for, bro. The judge stopped them right there. And he told he addressed to their lawyers, the next time Diddy make any kind of eye contact with the jury and nod his head, yes, no, maybe, or anything, he'll be hearing about the trial from his jail cell because he will not be allowed back in court. The judge said next time. So he probably let Diddy get away with it to see how far he was going to do it. But then he said, nah, we're not having this. Because
Diddy be looking at the jury, the jurors and everybody and the judge, you know what I mean? Every time the defense scores against the prosecution, he'd be like, take that. Yeah, playboy. Yeah, take that. We ain't gonna stop. Thought I told you that we ain't gonna stop. Yeah, take that.
you got to realize the jury is not sequestered. They go home every day. And he's known for tampering with witnesses. If you go through the trial right today, you see how he was trying to tamper with some of the people by having security, D-Rock, and other people talk to them. They are saying that in their testimony. So the judge is very aware of the fact by hearing the testimony of some of the witnesses that he was trying to tamper with the investigation. So now they also know the history with his other cases that were state. And I was there and I know for a fact they was about to pay off a girl that was on the witness stand on that Shine thing. So my whole thing about it is that they are aware that he's capable of trying to get to people in the witness, whether it's a witness or whether it's a juror. But the judge wasn't going to allow that, bro. He stopped it right in its hand. When he did it, judge didn't hesitate. So I believe the judge seen him do that probably once or twice and see how far he was going to go with it. And he went too far. Because when the girl was giving her testimony, he looked at the jury, the jurors, and then he like, that type of thing. And the judge wasn't having it. Judge blasted him. And so his lawyer said that he understand, Your Honor. Problem like that. You know how the lawyer comes close to say, yo, you can't do that and everything like that. So he told the judge that he understand and he won't be doing it again. The judge said if he does it again, he ain't gonna hesitate. He gonna have the marshals take his ass right back to his jail cell. And I believe he might just try it again. That's how crazy it is right there, man. He shook his head at the jurors like, you don't believe that shit, do you?
Yo, one thing I gotta say about Diddy, man. Diddy is an arrogant mother trucker. Like, how could you be sitting in a federal trial under investigation for trafficking and you're shaking your head at the testimonies that are being given? Like, that is one arrogant SOB, man.
He shook his head at the jurors like, you don't believe that shit, do you? I know you don't believe that shit, do you? You can't believe that shit, dude. This is what he would be saying if he could open his mouth. You understand? You don't believe that shit, do you? I know you don't believe that shit, do you? You bet not believe that shit, do you? And there's some shit like that. Yo, it was crazy, bro. And the judge snatched his ass up just like that.
And what you mean by the Sean situation?
Oh, when him and Sean and Wolf was on fighting a gun case and fighting a case where they were shooting up in the club, they had got connected with a young lady that was on the witness. She was a juror. And some people had got connected to her and they were going to give her $20,000 each. She wanted $20,000 each. 20 for Sean, 20 for Puff, and 20 for Wolf. I didn't find out till after the case was over with, but they was trying to pay off the juror, one of the jurors. Sean refused to give up anything. So Sean even knows about it. He said, "No, I'm not doing that." You understand what I'm saying? And all of them had the same charge. So, it was funny that Sean went down for it by himself when all of them had the same charge. But
This week,
Commercial break. And for the record, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I'm in a different place in my life. I don't do the same reckless nonsense that I used to do when I was 20, 25, hell, even 27. Even though I was being a father and being a homeowner and being a family man at that stage, I was still kind of out there a little bit. Listen, I'm at the stage now where, listen, I ain't trying to do no time behind bars. All right. So don't be doing nothing illegal. Don't be popping no people and be like, "Hey, yo, man, I need you to hold this charge, man." F that. I ain't holding no charge for you, ninja. You should have thought about that before you pulled the trigger. You know what I'm saying? You coming up in here all scared. Everybody else up in here chilling. And you know what I mean? And somebody bump into you and step on your shoe. You know what I mean? And they looking at you like, "What you gonna do?" And your ass like, "Let me get this gun. Let me get this gun." Pop. Everybody looking at you like, "What's wrong with you, fool? We up in here having a good time and you want to be popping off in here." I'm gonna let it be known on record. I'm telling, and it's not snitching because I'm not a gangster. I'm not in the streets. I'm not taking no time for nobody. Let's go.
They were trying to pay off a juror who was on the case on the state case when Sean and Puff had that case for the shootout at the show nightclub. The one that Sean went to jail for, bro. You know that. That same case that Sean went to jail for. The way the stuff that we're hearing in this trial, he's a wild dude for a lot. Yo, I couldn't imagine the same kid I know from Uptown Records, from Bad Boy, from the same gang, that he done turned out to be the disgusting pervert, the diabolical, the sadistic, nasty. Yo, my man, the stories that these girls are telling up in that courtroom, you can't believe it. And y'all won't be able to, if you don't go to court and see it, some of it gets what they call objected to.
All right, I want to pause it right there, right quick. Now, listen, here's what I noticed, right? A lot of these grown ass men, not just Diddy, a lot of these grown ass men that, like Gene Deal said, that supposedly do all of these disgusting, perverted things. I'm gonna be honest, right? And I'm not here to hold church or anything like that. you know, when I think about anything sexual, as long as it's first of all legal, it's legal, you're not harming anybody, and everything is consensual. Legal, not harming anybody, and consensual. I don't give a damn what grown people do behind bars. I mean, behind closed doors. Whether it's two men and two men, two women and one woman and one woman, one man and one woman, two men and two women, four men, four women, six women, six men. I don't care what grown people do behind closed doors, as long as it's legal, nobody's getting hurt, and everything is consensual. A lot of these grown dudes that be getting caught up with these federal crimes and all of and they get these heinous reputations for being just overly aggressive freaks. A lot of these guys, they either don't have fathers in their lives, they don't have father figures in their lives, and so it's just the mother. Or it's just, even if the mother is doing the best she can to raise that person, there is no order. There's no structure in these men's lives. And so this is how they, you know what I mean? This is how they become deviants. This is how they become overly aggressive perverts. And I'm going to keep it real, low key. And y'all could try to say what y'all want about Zone, and we all low key some perverts behind closed doors, because we all do things to our husbands, our wives, our significant other, companion, whatever you want to call it, friends with benefits. We all do things with those people that we don't want nobody to know. We all behind the door perverts. But when it's not okay to be pervert is when you're putting somebody at as life at stake. You're harming somebody, or you're doing illegal things. So technically, there's nothing wrong with being a pervert. But I would suggest that you not be a pervert. And that is one thing that I noticed with a lot of these perverts, a lot of these people, dudes that get caught up in crimes, Puffy, R. Kelly, even Kevin Gates to a degree, even though he ain't got caught up. But Kevin Gates be saying a lot of perverted ish. They don't got no father figures there. They don't got no type of foundation there. Let's go.
So it don't make the record. But we there hearing everything. And when you hear it inside the courtroom, and that's one reason I want to go, because you get to hear everything, bruh. You get to hear all the stuff, and then they have to object to it, and then it won't make it. Some stuff won't make it. Like some of the stuff that we're going to talk about today, you know, it did not make it, but then the prosecutor was so smart, they made it make it. You understand? They did it in a whole different way. You know what I'm saying? But I'll wait on your questions, and then I'll let you know what I'm talking about.
I gotta ask you, we can't say her name or the rapper name, but I gotta ask you about this woman that testified against Puffy, and her baby daddy is a rapper.
Man, I was there for the testimony, so I gotta know about it. But the whole thing about it is, brother, I give somebody $50 to tell me who that person is. You get it? I give somebody $50 if they tell me who that person is she was talking about, that her boyfriend is a millionaire and a musician in the whole 9 yards.
Okay, that, you know, we all know by now that, you know, people are alleging that, you know, the chick is in dealings, or, you know, it has some type of relations to 50 Cent. That's really all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna say no names because, you know, it's a federal trial, and even the people that were at the trial, they not really saying no names, but they're dropping clues. But we all kind of, and even 50 Cent took to his IG to take some shots. So we kind of already know who it possibly could be. We already possibly know that, but I ain't gonna say no names. But if y'all been paying attention, then y'all probably know who he's talking about.
I wish I knew who that was.
Commercial break. Make sure y'all hitting that like button. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Let's go.
You know what I'm saying? I'll run all the way to Queens from Manhattan if I could figure out who the person that she was talking about. But let me just tell you her story. You understand what I'm saying? And it was gross. It was crazy, bro. How he she did some diabolical shit by acting like he loved her, he wanted to be with her, to, you know, that some men do. I can't be mad at him for that. You understand? But to take her away and play on her mind, brother, it was crazy how he did it and turned her into a freak off queen. Whereas that she was talking about doing all-star freak offs with him. You understand? And was only giving her $10,000 a month. $10,000 a month. Now she's talking about she got a millionaire boyfriend, not a boy.
Let's see. What is it? Python in the chat. I don't know how you say that. It says, why didn't Diddy and Kanye just link up? They seem compatible. Yeah, I mean, hey, they definitely do seem compatible after Kanye came out with his track not that long ago, about a month ago, called Cousins, where Yeezy admitted that he was giving his cousin, that he was doming his cousin up, and his cousin was doming him up. Like, like, I'm gonna be honest, man. Let me just say this. Kanye is almost 50 years old. 50 years old. Bruh. We could have gone without knowing that. We could have gone. We don't care about you doming your cousin up or your cousin doming you up. We don't care about. Do you guys know how difficult it is in today's entertainment / music business to be a non-straight man and hide that without allegations coming out or proof that you are a non-straight man coming out? Kanye is one of those few artists that have managed to do that, for him to go out and put something like that out. Like what a fucking clown, bruh. Like, you didn't even, you know what I mean? Like, we need to know all that shit.
Boyfriend, her baby daddy is a millionaire and a former,
Diddy's just gay.
a rapper, a CEO, the whole 9 yards. I'm looking like, so if she getting money from him, she got to be getting child support. And if she getting child support, bruh, you understand, from a millionaire, it's got to be enough money to do something. It may not be enough money to do nothing, but it's got to be enough money to do something. I'm looking at this, so I'm hearing her story because she's trying to convince us she was doing this only for her son. She wanted a house for her son. She wanted her son in a good position. But if I was the baby daddy and I had half the sense of a dollar, I wouldn't have never ever let my son kiss her ever again.
Commercial break. Make sure y'all hitting that like button, subscribe to the channel. You know, if you feeling the content, if you feeling the commentary, We talk about everything over here. We talk about trending topics. We talk about everything. Everything. Let's go.
Stuff that she was doing and these all-star freak-offs, bruh. Now, mentally, I know she's a victim too. You understand? With the drugs, with the stuff, but you know, when you
I'm sorry. Nope. I'm not going to let Gene Deal get away with that one. A grown woman over the age of 25. Over the age of 25. I just got a notification. Oh, that's hilarious. I got a notification. MREC live at Gene Deal Barbecue. That's hilarious. Anyway, I'm sorry. Like, I understand that there are victims out here. There really are people that are victims, men and women. But if you're over the age of 25, okay, that means, according to science, that your brain has fully developed. Okay, you probably had 1 or 2 children by now. You probably been in a couple relationships. You're probably well experimented in the bedroom. There's nothing wrong with that as long as it's legal and consensual. You've already and let me explain something to you guys. I am sick and tired of living in this stupid ass era where people are talking about believe all women. People are talking about believe all women, Stockholm syndrome. She's a victim because he's rich and she's not. No, these women fucking know what they do. Not now. There are some women out here that are victims, but here's the thing. What people don't realize is that a man's sexual record and a woman's sexual record by the age of 25 is different. A lot of men be 25 years old, ain't even had sex. A lot of men be 25 with only one body. Women be 25 with 10, 20, and 30 bodies. Women, a dude be 25 and ain't even tasted the box. Women be 25 and they done tasted like 20, 30 popsicle sticks. Women be 20, women be 19, women be 19 dating millionaires. Women be 19 having dudes pay for them to get into the club. Women be 19 getting flued out to Dubai and all that stuff. What 19-year-old man is living a life like that? When 19-year-old women are living like that every day. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. But we are living in a age where we talking about women, where we acting like women can't be complicit. And the problem that I have with all of this is that there are real people, there are real women out here that really get abused, that really get taken advantage of. But niggas like Gene Deal want to try to say she's a victim when she was fully complicit. She chose to be with Diddy. She chose to take the drugs. She chose to allegedly have a baby by 50. She chose to open her legs. She chose to not get an abortion. She chose that. Everything that's going on with her, she chose that. I have a daughter that's going to be 17 in October. And I tell her every chance I get, sex is your responsibility. No man can get between your legs if you don't want him between your legs. It's your job to deny him sex. It's your job not to be out here having sex with men that don't like you, that don't love you, that don't have your best intentions in mind. No man can get between your legs if you don't let him. No woman can get between your legs if you don't let her. Let's go.
her testimony, it's like she was in love and still in love with dude. Even though she was doing shit that she didn't want to do. She was talking about how sick she was. How he wouldn't allow her to use condoms.
And again, she chose that. She did not have to have sex. She wanted that lifestyle. And that is the problem with a lot of today's modern women, if that's the term that you want to use. Y'all women today, a lot of y'all women today, you want to be with the 50 cents. You want to be with the puffies. You want to be with the niggas that's gonna have you doing orgies and all of this kind of stuff. And then when you don't want to do it no more, now you want to whine and scream because, you know what I mean, they won't let you stop doing what you do. When y'all need to be settling down with dudes that make $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a year, because even though that's not a lot of money, at the end of the day, that's going to be the man that has your back. That's going to be the man that's going to probably be the best father for your children. And even though you make $40,000 and he make $30,000, an extra $30,000 coming in the house is not going to hurt. An extra $1,000 is going to improve both of y'all lives. But y'all want to get with these sick, perverted Negroes, and then y'all want to sit here in federal court like and scream, you know, cry wolf because you were dumb, because you wanted the lifestyle, you wanted the dream. You wanted the lifestyle, you wanted the dream, and it turned into a nightmare. Let's go.
Yo, it was crazy. Now, people got to understand, because I hear a lot of people on the internet talking about like her baby father, like he was mad and upset or something like that. He already knew about all this stuff. He knew about this stuff because he was on stage talking about it way before she testified, way before Diddy got locked up for it. Talk about, yeah, you got a baby mama that's out here doing freak offs. He knew about the stuff. But people can't understand, people got to understand, these guys give these girls enough money to do something. Just say, for instance, if old boy was giving her $5,000 or $7,000 a month, you take $2,000 of that and get you in a nice place to live. A nice house somewhere. You understand? You take another $500 and put down on a car that you could drive to work and go back and forth.
Make sure y'all hit that like button.
It don't take $1,000 a month to feed nobody.
I'm sorry. If it takes $1,000, you's a fat motherfucker. Like, and excuse my language, but it don't take like $1,000 a month for one person. Like, man, I don't got nothing nice to say. Like, I could see you easily spending $1,000 a month for food on a family of 2 and 3 or whatever. You know what I mean? And I'm not talking about the women that got fat asses. Yo, y'all, you know what I mean? Y'all excluded. You got a fat ass, you can eat all you want. I'm talking about the women that just be eating and they don't got no fat ass. They don't, you know what I mean? Like, nah, man. Nah. If you got a fat ass, you can eat. But if you just fat around the midsection, you need to do something about that. $1,000 a month on food is crazy, man.
You understand? To feed nobody. It don't take another $1,000 to clothe somebody because you ain't gonna buy clothes every month.
Hey, Liz Cofano, hey, thank you for coming through. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you want to. You don't got to, but if you want to. She says 1K enough. 1K is enough for 6 to 8 months for me. Absolutely. Absolutely.
For a kid. And you know his father still is going to be taken care of because he was with his father a whole lot of times too. These girls wanted money so they don't have to do nothing. But the baby daddy was giving her enough money.
Commercial break. Make sure y'all hit that like button, man. You know what I'm saying? We breaking down Gene Deal telling. Cause that's all he be doing. Like he be acting like he giving interviews, but this nigga Gene Deal really telling. Let's not forget, Gene Deal is a retired probation officer. You know what I mean? So we know what side of the law he's on. You know what I mean? So we listening to Gene Deal telling. He's breaking down week 4 of the Diddler trial. And I'm just critiquing and commenting on some of the things that he says. Because I think listening to Gene Deal is funny. Every time I hear Gene Deal talk, it's just funny to me. You know what I mean? I have never seen somebody just tell. I have never seen a police officer tell so much in my life. Let's go.
But she wanted that extra freak off money. She had to want it, bruh. Because why would you stoop so low to bring yourself down like that? She had an option. Her friend was making, she was talking about her friends was making a couple of $1 million doing, what's that other stuff on internet where
OnlyFans?
the OnlyFans, yeah, thank you. Her friends were doing OnlyFans, making $2 million. She could have did OnlyFans.
Yo, and not every woman makes a lot of money doing OnlyFans. I'm gonna just put that out there right now. Like they be talking about like, yo, you can make a band doing OnlyFans. It really takes some work to make some money doing OnlyFans. I think I remember reading the article and it said the average chick makes less than $50 a month on OnlyFans. So I don't really know how far that's gonna get you, but I'm pretty sure that there are other lucrative side hustles or entrepreneurial ventures that will pay you more than OnlyFans will if you're the average woman. But let's go.
And made hundreds of thousands of dollars. She chose not to do that to bring old boy Freak Toy. And then it seemed like she was allegedly picking up drugs for him too. She was still dealing with old boy all the way up until the time he got arrested. That's how he had her mind, bro. It was crazy. It was crazy. Now, she's telling her story, but she never mentioned like Cassie did about the diseases and everything that she had. She just said how sick she was because he was doing sick stuff with her.
I just want to pause it right there, right quick. I just want to take the time to just thank the Lord. Thank God Almighty. Thank the Most High. I don't have no STDs. You know what I'm saying? None of that. Like, I don't like, and this is why, after my last relationship, I was single for like 5 years. I was single for basically 4.5, 5 years. So during that time I had my fun, of course. But you know what I'm saying? Like thoughts started creeping up in my head and I'm like, man, I need to be careful, cause I live out here in Arizona and the white girls, come on down Texas where I'm gonna come play. I read a report that Arizona has a high was it syphilis or one of those STDs. This was like a few years ago. So when I read that, I was like, I'm done. Even though I was doing what I was doing protected, I was like, I am, I'm done. I'm like, I've made it this far without no type of major STDs, no type of major sickness. No, I'm done. I'm finna be a little bit more conservative, because a lot of people don't get to make it far in life without getting the herpaderp and, all of these things. And, I'ma just keep it 100. You know, I know on YouTube, you know, there's a lot of spaces that like to talk about, you know, how black women are 304s and you know, horrible women and all this kind of stuff. I live in Arizona. I lived in Scottsdale, Arizona, of all places. You don't know anything about Scottsdale, look it up. It's basically the Vegas of it's a mini Vegas of the West Coast. You know what I mean? It's basically a mini Vegas. And I'm gonna tell you, like where I was living previously was like a couple miles from the Strip, which is Scottsdale Road, and that's where they have all of the bars, all of the clubs, Blueface come up, you know, there. Floyd Mayweather come up there. Tyson come up there. Any celebrity, Michelle Obama, you know what I mean? Any person that's who's who. They come when they come to Arizona, they come through there. And you know, I know there's a lot of talk about how black women are just 304s and this, that, and the third, but I'm gonna be honest. In my personal case, I'm gonna say some of these wild women, a lot of these mayonnaise women, they are on another level with it. And I'm gonna tell you why they on another level with it. Because they will let you smash it out. They will let you smash it out. Their boyfriend be texting you texting them while you smashing. They will tell their boyfriend what they're doing, and their boyfriend will want to watch. Their boyfriend will want to watch. They'll be literally going through hard times with their boyfriend. This happened to me on several occasions. Now, I ain't never participated in nothing like that because I don't trust like that. You know what I'm saying? And I don't need her boyfriend knowing where I stay. I don't need her father know where I stay. I don't need her brother know where I stay. So that when he gets mad, you know, that his girlfriend was getting smashed out, now he want to come back to me. Hey dude, remember me? Hey, you let us watch. Remember me? Bah, 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 bah. No, I don't get down like that. You know what I'm saying? And quite frankly, this is just my perspective. Anytime a black man gets to talking crazy about a black woman, black women are crazy, blah, blah, blah. Clearly, you've never been with any other woman that's not black like that. You need to get your weight up and you need to get your experience up. And once you do, you will find that it doesn't matter what race the woman is. They have more in common than not in common.
Man, this is crazy, bro. I can't even talk. I don't even want to talk about it, bro. I know it's an interview, but I don't even want to talk about it. It was sick. It's like, how you...
Liz, a 304 is an HOE. A 304 is an HOE. That's just that's just a Sesame Street of saying a Sesame Street way, a clean way of saying HOE. You know what I mean? Without actually saying the word.
Have another man ejaculate on a woman and you rub your body all up against that
and press, you know what I mean? A lot of people say Prescott, but it's actually pronounced Prescott. Yes, Prescott is actually a beautiful place, and it's also a good place to go horseback riding.
Then lick her with all the stuff on her, bruh. That shit is crazy, bruh. Dude is a Dude is, I don't know what you want to call him, man. Yo, R. Kelly, Bill Cosby, Weinstein, ain't nobody got nothing on dude. Nothing, dog. It's perverted and it's nasty to hear some of these testimonies that are going on. And that's real talk, bro. That's real talk.
Yeah, Diddy a different breed, man.
A different breed, bro. Oh, you said he's a different breed? My man. I don't know what breed that could be, bro.
Listen, Diddy's just gay. That's all. He's a gay billionaire. That's all he is. He's a gay billionaire. I mean, I'm pretty sure the other gay billionaires are doing the same thing behind closed doors, but let's go.
I've never ever heard something, yo, and you know, we all grow up looking at some porn and all this like that. I've never ever heard that or seen that in no porn movie that a dude is doing that type of stuff, bruh.
Why would
Commercial break. Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, now I will say it is crazy. You know, it is crazy. Just hearing about all the sexual escapades that's going on in the Diddy trial. And I'm going to just keep it real, man. Listen, I know it sounds crazy when you're hearing all this stuff out loud, but I'm going to be honest. You think the other super millionaires and billionaires aren't doing what Diddy's doing, maybe even worse? You think they're not doing what he's doing, or maybe even worse? Now, I will say one of the hilarious things that I heard was, when during the freak off, they had the male exotic dancers come through, and one of the male exotic dancers was talking about how Diddy liked to wear a hijab. That's the Muslim covering that women in the Islamic faith wear, that he liked to wear a hijab to cover himself up, and he was just beating off in the corner. You know what I'm saying? I think that was hilarious. You know what I'm saying? That is hilarious though. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy.
That shit is beyond gross, bruh. Some of the stuff that you hear in that courtroom is beyond gross.
And what you mean by that when you say all-star freak-off?
The all-star freak-off is when that she was going to get 2 or 3 of the top male strippers and bring them in, and she was going to have them do her back to back to back to back because that's what he liked. So that's how she wanted to please him. The all-star freak-off is like tag team, WrestleMania. They get a chance to jump in on that. But you're going to have some of these guys out here, some of these rappers, still going to want to be with her, still going to want to see her because she got a fat ass and a pretty face.
Do you think Diddy was only messing around with her because of who her?
And see, that right there is why that's why I'm a titty man. Cause it's gonna take more. Hold on, y'all. It's gonna take more than just a fat ass to get me. That's why I like titties. Cause a lot of women today, they got a lot of women today, not even just black women. Non-black women got big fat asses too. But not a lot of women got big titties or nice looking titties. So yeah, it's going to take more than just a fat ass to get me. Let's go.
Baby daddy was?
Well, I think that he probably developed a relationship with her first because of that. Because he knew who dude was. And he knew dude had a kid with her. He even offered to take dude shopping before. So he knew.
Make sure y'all hit the like button.
who dude was. You understand what I'm saying? And I know how he is. I seen him do Sarah Chapman like that too. She was with a basketball player, and the only reason she dealt with him is because she once was with Pac. She was with a basketball player, and he made a bet that he was going to get her. He probably had to make a bet about this chick because it seemed like she wanted him in the first place because she was telling how he was dating her girlfriend first. And I think her girlfriend probably got married or something like that. And she started dating him.
And you talking about Gary Payton, right?
Yes, sir. I don't want to say his name, bro. You know what I mean?
A woman named Brianna testified, right, that Diddy held her over a balcony.
I just got paid $60.
Commercial break. Commercial break. Let's go.
Tell me about that.
Object. 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 That shit did not even make it in the courtroom, bro. They objected to that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because for whatever reason, for whatever legal thing, it was a lawsuit that was civil, that was going on. And they could not bring that into court. You only know that and because of the content creators who was there and people like me who was there who heard the stuff, it got objected to it and they couldn't even bring that into court. But you know what? The prosecutors were like, yeah, we know they was going to do that. So we going to go a whole nother route. And they got it in there. I'm going to tell you how they got it in there. Because they tried to make Brianna seem like everything she said it was lies because of her drug use. Her still wanting to be around Puff. You understand? Her still going out to parties with them, even after she said he choked her, he beat her, he did this. But people got to understand this. Until you around in that whole atmosphere with those people, you don't understand that the man that's the goal, has all the gold, makes all the rules. Now, see, people don't understand this, and let me break this down to you, bro. If Puff hates you, everybody that you made friends with.
Let me pause it right there. Of course, the man that has all the gold makes all the rules. When has there ever been a period in history where the king didn't make all the rules? The ruler didn't make all the rules. The emperor didn't make all the rules. The government, the president, whoever didn't make all the rules. Whoever has the most resources, whoever has the most power makes all the rules. So, of course, the king, whoever has the most gold, is going to make all the rules. Just like if you are at your job, the corporation makes all the rules. And if you break the rules, then there are punishments or disciplinary actions that apply. I mean, when has there not been a point in time where whoever had the most gold makes all the rules? So yeah, of course, if you're a chick that's getting involved with Diddy or a powerful guy, you know, somebody who's rich, successful, or not even maybe that rich, but maybe just well off, successful, of course you're gonna be subject to whatever rules and terms apply. It is what it is. Even if you're a dude and you're doing business with a guy, if you don't have leverage in that situation, yeah, whoever you're doing business with is going to have most of the say in that situation. And they keep trying to make these women victims that are not victims. You know why you wanted to get with Sean Combs. You know why you wanted to get with Puffy. Come on, like, let's not play dumb.
Everybody that knows you, they hate you. They can't show you that they love or got love for you. Do you understand that?
I think even if you're not Puffy, I think that once you reach a certain level of success, most of the people who know you will either hate you, they will become jealous of you, or they will become diabolically envious of you. So you don't even got to be Diddy to be in this situation. You could be a guy that's just doing well in life, and most of the people are probably going to not like you just based off of the fact that you're doing better than them. I think that just is what comes with success. I don't even really think that's just a Diddy thing.
Those people in that industry clique, they'll go out on Mondays and Wednesdays and everything, have parties. If Puff ain't fucking with you, ain't nobody gonna fuck with you. So now, when them girls make up to him, it's not just for them to make up to him. It's to show everybody that's around that me and Puff is still cool so they can start back treating you cool. This is crazy to me, bro. I don't even understand why they give a f, but that's how it is, bro. That's why those people keep running back to him, because they know if he don't f with them, nobody's gonna f with them in that industry around there. Whether it's parties, whether it's work, socializing, none of that.
What if you can create your own website by
Commercial break. Make sure y'all hitting that like button. Appreciate everybody for coming through. We're actually going to be wrapping this up shortly. Probably going to break this up into 2 parts because, you know, it's kind of a long interview. So we're going to break this up into 2 parts, you know, and plus we've been here for a little over 2 hours now. So we you know, we've been on here a decent amount of time. So make sure you all hit that like button. You know what I'm saying? And don't just watch. Participate in the chat. You know, I like the crowd participation. You know, over here, I like to have a good time. You know, I like to talk about trending topics. I talk about everything. I like to talk about whatever I want to talk about. You feel me? So this ain't a channel where you got to watch your P's and watch your Q's, but just keep it cordial. You feel me? Let's go.
So when he hung the girl over the back balcony, that couldn't get in the court because it was a civil suit that was pending or did like that. You understand what I'm saying? So they wouldn't let it in there. So what the prosecutors did was they got the text messages in there. So when y'all hear the news people out there, well, Brianna was lying. She was not telling the truth. She didn't remember this. She didn't remember that. Puff personal assistant KK and Cassie was texting on 9/30/2016 when it happened. Was texting. Yo, he put on, KK, we're going to take care of it. We're going to make sure everything's okay. We're sorry. He was drunk. He was high. We're going to make sure she be compensated for her injury. All that shit, bro. All that shit is in text messages, and the prosecutors got the text messages in there. So now the jury might not see, you understand? Can't hear Brianna part of it, but they can hear the text messages because there was a civil suit. You understand? And he was paying her millions of dollars for doing that. So all these content creators, all these news people that say the girl was lying, she couldn't have been lying because the text messages don't lie. They brought in a federal computer analyst who got the text messages out of Cassie and old girl's phone that states that they was talking about it in September in 2016, bro. The prosecutor got bombed for that. Now the jury gonna look at it like, yo, they were trying to make this girl out a lie, but they was telling this lie in 2016, and not one person said that was a lie back then. But all of a sudden, in 2025, it's a lie. The prosecutor cooked their ass on that one, bro. Cooked them. They got the text messages that told the story that Puff did hang the girl over the balcony, was choking her the whole 9 yards, and they was trying to put a civil suit or stop her from doing a civil suit so they can pay her off. To pay her off.
Okay, newsflash. I'm not a criminal. I'm not a criminal, and I don't support people who steal from people. If you know what I mean, or commit crimes. If you want something for yourself, work hard for it. But here's what I'm gonna say. If you are gonna do something stupid, if you are gonna do a crime, don't type in a computer. The second you turn a computer on, it's hooked up to a server, your information is going all over the place. You know, don't text in a cell phone. You know what I mean? You got to take it back to the Wild Wild West days. Like, if you really want to keep it gangster, you got to get you know what I mean? You got to get some beepers. You got to get some beepers, and you got to be standing by a payphone to make some calls, and you got to talk in code, and you got to or you got to get a typewriter. You got to get a typewriter. You gotta type your messages on paper, and you gotta get a top secret courier to deliver it to wherever you're trying to get it, man. Like, if you're trying to commit any type of crimes, anything, man, electronically, you're cooked today. You're cooked today. So, yeah, all that doing stuff electronically, all that shit is dead, man. You better go back to how it used to be. Classy Creole says a person would have to be real desperate to commit a crime going through all that. Absolutely. Yeah, they would have to be desperate. And that's what I'm saying. Because if you're doing anything illegal on anything electronic, I mean, it's gonna be nothing. It's gonna be nothing for the police or the feds to pull. Yo, check this out. I was watching the movie Sonic the Hedgehog, right, the first one, and Jim Carrey plays the Dr. Robotnik in the movie, right? And, you know, Dr. Robotnik is Sonic's one of Sonic's arch nemesis, right? And there was a line in there, right, where Dr. Robotnik had partnered up with the army and or something like that, and he was trying to get access to some information, and the dude refused to help him. And he said, and Dr. Robotnik, the general, refused to help him. And Dr. Robotnik said, if you don't help me, I'll hack your computer and I'll leak all your porn searches. So they got us, y'all. I don't care how Christian you claim to be, how Muslim you claim to be, how Buddhist you claim to be. Now, obviously, this doesn't apply to any and everybody, but I'm sure 90% of us done been searching up some inappropriate stuff in our phones that we don't want nobody to know about, and we would probably be embarrassed if it were to ever get leaked. So, if you're trying to do anything online and think that it's impossible to be figured out, you're dead wrong, son. Let me see. Little one in the chat says police and the feds dropping tracks. How flat does it sound, Dipset? Yeah, man. Absolutely.
And sign an NDA just like they did the security people. Just like they did the security people, bro. It's crazy.
Yeah, I ain't know all that, man. Because what I was hearing online was she got exposed for lying.
Bruh, They was trying to say the young lady got exposed for lying because the young lady was been taking medication, been taking drugs, the whole 9 yards. But there's text messages from Cassie and Puff personal assistant that told the truth. They told the truth. Why would they be lying in 2016 about that happening? Why would they be lying? Right after it happened. Right when it's happening. And that's the point that prosecution made.
Now, real quick, right? I've been saying it throughout this live stream, right? If somebody was to hack my personal information and pull it through the air, yeah, I mean, what kind of explicit, I've been saying it the whole live. I just want to see if y'all paying attention. You know, what kind of explicit thing do you think is going to come up mostly in that? You know what I mean? I want y'all to put it in the chat. I want to see if y'all been paying attention. What keyword, what one word do you think is going to come up the most in all my searches? Classy Creole. What's the other word? That's the clean word. What's the other word? What's the other word? What's the other word? Go on and put it in there. Let's go.
Bruh, through this whole trial, and the girl was talking about pink cocaine, ecstasy, Molly.
You trying to be ladylike? All right. I'll let that ride. But yes, you got it right. You got it right.
Some pills that they ain't know what the hell it was. Drugs, bruh. The drugs will change your whole life. Here go a kid that not use drugs, wouldn't smoke weed. He got out there, and not only he got drugs, he got drunk on power. By him being drunk on power and using drugs, he wasted his whole life away. We're going to see the beginning and the end. This is the first time, bro. This is the first time in our lifetime we're going to see an individual that was on top of the world, had everything that they also dreamed of.
My bad, y'all. Sorry to the headphone users. Commercial break. Let's go.
Going to lose everything that they dreamed of. You can't make this shit up, bro.
Yeah, it gotta be the drugs, man. If you hanging people over balconies, you can't be in your right mind. But I want
All right. So we're going to end it right there. I want to thank everybody for coming out this evening / afternoon and watching, kicking it with me, Zone 864 TV. You know what I mean? My name is Zone for short. You know what I'm saying? And I know people think the name of my channel is weird. You know, why is it called Zone 864 TV? Like, who does he think he is? He's trying to put all these words and letters together. That doesn't even make sense. Zone 864 TV, trying to be different. Well, okay, so I'm from Greenville, South Carolina, and when I was growing up, you know, in the late 90s and early 2000s, you know, where I'm from, Atlanta, down south music was real big, right? You know, trap music was real big, right? So, you know, you would hear rappers say Zone 5, Zone 4, Zone 6. You know, zone, they from this zone. So zones are like districts. You know what I mean? So they would let you know where they from by saying what zone. So The funny thing about Greenville, where I'm from, is Greenville is like itself is like its own zone. So that word zone, that's from, I came up with that back in the day. I'm talking about like 2000. You know what I mean? Zone. The numbers 864 represent the area code where I'm from, because Greenville, like itself back then, was like its own zone. You know, obviously I put the TV on because we on YouTube, we televise and broadcasting wherever we at, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Rumble, wherever we at. So it's televised, or you can hear whatever I'm talking about. But that's where it comes from. So it's just me always, you know, paying homage to you know, where I'm from, you know. So I know y'all, if y'all ever listen to Jeezy, Gucci Man, any rappers from Atlanta, you know, because when Atlanta started making noise musically, you know what I'm saying? These rappers, they would say, I'm from zone 6, I'm from zone 5, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, that really made me mad back then, because I'm like, shit, we are on zone over here. This is zone 864 over here. You know, and people know what it is when they see 864. Like, for instance, shout out to Clever Creatrix in the building, salute. Even my man JD 1975, I was on my man Izzy Band's channel one day in the chat, and JD was like, hey Zone, he was like, you from Greenville, bro? I'm like, yeah, that's my hometown. He was like, I'm from Greenville too. You see what I'm saying? So people know those numbers. People know those numbers. So that's why I do it, because it's my way of, you know, just reminding myself, you know, no matter how big I get, pause. You know, that's where I'm from. No matter how many times I travel the globe, that's where I'm from. That's the place that raised me. That's the place that made me. Even though I've been on the west side of the Mississippi, just as long as I've been on the east side of the Mississippi, you know, Greenville, South Carolina that's where I was born and raised. That's where I'm from. That's where I encountered my struggles. Clever Creatrix says, when's the face reveal? Clever, you already seen my face so many times. You already seen my face so many times, man. As many times as I've been on the Corey panel with Corey, and yeah, I mean, you know what I look like. Oh, you know what's funny too is so I guess one of my shorts kind of went viral a little bit, like a night or two ago. And it's funny because, like, I'm gonna see if I can pull it up right quick. Let me see here. And when you it's funny because, like, when you start, you know, having a little bit of success, you know, people start hating and stuff like that. So this is what I said in the short. I'm sitting in my living room right now talking on this microphone. I'm not perfect. I'm a regular ninja. I've done some extraordinary things in my life. I've talked to people Oh, no. I'm sitting in my living room right now talking on this microphone. I'm not perfect. I'm a regular ninja. I've done some extraordinary things in my life. I've talked to people most people will never talk to in the music business, because that's where I come from. And I could have a platinum hit tomorrow. I am never gonna let I ain't never gonna let nobody do nothing to me crazy. I ain't never gonna take no part in no demonic ritual. I ain't never gonna pull no Diddy stuff. You know what I mean? I ain't never gonna have no man milk on my chest. You know what I mean? I ain't never gonna do that. I'm sick. My bad, y'all. I was scrolling and I had some music that came up from one of my other shorts. But somebody put in the comments, somebody was like, and you will never go platinum. You will never go platinum. Hold on. And then they responded to that short. Jay Jenkins, yeah, I said man milk. I said man milk. Let me see. Cause I ain't want to say I didn't want to say the other word. So anyway, so somebody put and you won't never go platinum. Right? They put that under there. And you won't never go platinum. Somebody else put under there, sure, pal, you're lying. You, and they can't even talk right. They put, sure, pal, you're lying. Out yo, out, they put out you ass. You would beg for it. I can literally see it in your face. You are an attention-seeking clown. Yo. They thought they ate off that, didn't they? You know what I mean? They thought they ate off of that. I think it's funny. I'm like, listen, if I was such an attention seeking clown, as they so graciously referred to me being, then why is it that the last time that I went live was 13 days ago? Why is it that the last time that I went live, if I'm such an attention-seeking clown, why is it the last time I went live was 13 days ago? If I am such an attention-seeking clown, why is it that the last 3 videos that I posted was one was 4 months ago, right? The last 3 videos that I posted, one was 4 months ago. Yeah, one was 4 months ago. The video after that was 2 weeks ago, and then the video after that was 13 days ago. So my most recent videos that I posted, if I'm such an attention-seeking clown, was the most recent one was 13 days ago. Then after that was 2 weeks ago. Then after that was 4 months ago. If I was such an attention-seeking clown, I think I would be posting like every 10 minutes. I think I would be, I think I would be, dissing black women every chance I get. I think I would be, doing the red pill content like everybody else every chance I get. Like, I think I would be, talking trash about women every chance I get. If I'm such an attention-seeking clown, I would be doing, I would be talking about cooking with Kaya. I would be talking about, and let me just be perfectly clear with this. I'm not talking trash about content creators that talk about what's hot right now, because that's what you're supposed to do. You know what I mean? I would be trying to seek the most attention. I would be trying to get the most subscribers. I would be trying to get the most views if I was an attention-seeking clown. I would go live every single day. I would go live maybe twice a day, maybe even 3 times a day. If I was such an attention seeking clown, I think I would do that. It was clever. It was just a person in one of my shorts. The short that I just played where I said this. Hold on. Sitting in my living room right now. Oh no. I'm sitting in my living room right now talking on this microphone. I'm not perfect. I'm a regular ninja. I've done some extraordinary things in my life. I've talked to people most people will never talk to in the music business, because that's where I come from. And I could have a platinum hit tomorrow. I am never gonna let I ain't never gonna let nobody do nothing to me crazy. I ain't never gonna take no part in no demonic ritual. I ain't never gonna pull no Diddy stuff. You know what I mean? I ain't never gonna have no man milk on my chest. You know what I mean? I ain't never gonna do that. I'm sitting in yeah, so that's the short. You know what I'm saying? And see, here's the thing, Clever. You know, the funny thing is I don't care. Listen, can't nobody on this internet shit bully me. Can't nobody say anything that's gonna hurt my feelings. I don't like, you know what I mean? Like that, I don't care. Like, cause these people are behind keyboards. When I wasn't getting no views, they wasn't saying shit. But now that I'm getting like 5 views a video, now they want to say some shit. Back then didn't want me, now I'm hot, they all on me. You feel what I'm saying? Classy Creole, can you tell Clever what I like? Can you tell Clever that one word that I like? Can you tell her that? Can you just type it in the chat? Just type the word that you put earlier in the chat. Can you tell her? Can you just put it in the chat for me? My fingers are hurting. I don't feel like typing. Can you type it for me, please? There we go. I just wanted you to type it. Thank you, Classy. I just wanted you to type it. Like, I mean, hey. Exactly, Clever. And, you know what I'm saying? And that, I'm not talking to you directly, Clever. I just wanted Classy to type that because I just wanted to make sure that she was on her job and paying attention. I appreciate that, Classy. I appreciate that. You know, it's Pride Month, and you know, people want to be prideful about what they like, so I want to be prideful about what I like. You know? Exactly. Do your thing. Everybody need to do their thing. You know what I mean? This ninja Diddy, a billionaire in the corner, you know what I mean? Over here having exotic dancers dance and strip for him in hotel rooms, and this ninja is wearing, what's that dude named? The Punisher. The one of them dancers' name was the Punisher, and the Punisher was dancing for Diddy, and the Punisher said that, I guess once he found out it was Diddy was like, oh hell, he done figured it out, and he took off the hijab, and you know what I mean, and was only wearing his Yankees hat and some sunglasses. Oh, he done figured out as me. I'm gonna go ahead and come out. You know what I mean? Like that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like that's, you know what I'm saying? Like if you gonna do that, why not just do that from the beginning? You a billionaire. I'ma just keep it real. We're in 2025, right? We're in 2025, right? I'ma just keep it 100, right? I mean, being a rainbow in 2025 is like being straight. Now, if this was 1995, back when, you know what I mean, the West Coast and the East Coast thing was going on, like you probably would have had some problems. You know what I mean? Imagine if it would have came out back then that Puffy was a rainbow. Imagine if it would have came out back then that Puffy was a rainbow. But somehow, you know what I mean, he was able to finesse and finagle through the 90s. He was like, take that, pow, pow, boom, boom. Take that. Yeah, what up, Playboy? Yeah, you ever look at me like that again, I'ma hang you over a balcony. Playboy, hey, Cassie, grab my coat. Farnsworth, hey, tie my shoe, ninja. Hey, yeah. Bad boy, baby. We can't stop. We won't stop. We don't sleep. Take that. Hey, Punisher. Hey, what up, Playboy? Oh! And let's not forget this. Oh my God. I got to pull. I was about to wrap up the show. Hold on. 1 second here. Oh, I got to play this. Hold on. Hold on. We gonna play this. We gonna play this. Oh, hold on, y'all. I gotta let this commercial play. I gotta let this commercial play. Let me see here.
I like when you like this, Daddy.
Yeah, where you put my bag
Daddy,
at?
I like when you love this drink.
Where you put my bag
I like
at?
when you like.
Y'all can hear that? Let me know if y'all can hear that. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear that. Oh, we gonna play it. Oh, we gonna play it tonight. Hey, this clip is from an interview that Puffy did on Drink Champs years ago with Nori. He was a surprise guest. They didn't even know Diddy was gonna show up. Nori was there, Jadakiss was there, Fabulous was there. Listen to how Puff is talking to Fabulous.
Bag at? Mr. Lee,
Yeah, I love
Fair use.
this drink.
where you put my bag
I like
at?
when you like this, Daddy.
Yeah, where you put
Oh, what did he say?
my bag at? Mr. Lee,
Yeah, I love this drink.
where you put my bag
I like
at?
when you like this, Daddy.
Yeah, where you put
Oh my God.
my bag at? Mr. Lee,
Yeah, I love this drink.
where you put my bag
I like
at?
when you like this, Daddy.
Yeah, where you
Like, okay, why? I don't even call my daddy daddy. I don't even call my father daddy. I don't even call my own father daddy. Now, I will say, when you go down south, you know, I will say this, right? The only people who get a pass are Southern folks, Southerners, because Southern folks, the lingo is different. You call your mama, mama. You call your daddy, daddy. You know what I mean? You'll hear a 60-year-old man call his 90-year-old dad, daddy. That's just how it is down there. You know what I'm saying?
put my bag
Daddy,
at?
I like when you
it's right here,
scrambling
it's right
and
here.
scraping for shit.
No.
Scrambling and scraping for shit. Hold on.
When you like this, Daddy.
Yeah, where you put my bag
Daddy,
at?
I like when you
it's right here,
scrambling
it's
and
right
scraping for
here.
shit. When you like this, Daddy.
Yeah, where you put my bag
Daddy,
at?
I like when you
it's right here, it's
scrambling
right
and
here.
scraping for shit.
No.
Scrambling and scraping for shit. You mean scrambling eggs? Okay, wait. Now listen to what he's saying. Pay attention to what he's saying. Scrambling and scraping for shit. Classy Creole, what do I like? Can you put that in the chat for me? But scrambling and scraping for what?
I like that.
Where you put my bag
Daddy,
at,
I like
Mr.
when
Lee?
you
It's
scrambling
right
and
here.
scraping for shit.
No, I got
I
notes
like
and
that.
shit. Where you put my bag
Daddy,
at,
I like
Mr.
when
Lee?
you
It's right here,
scrambling
it's
and
right
scraping for
here.
shit.
No, I got
I
notes
like
and
that.
shit. You know,
Oh my God, like, who says that? Like, I don't care how drunk you are or how high you are. Who says I like when you scrambling and scraping for shit?
I've been practicing. I got
Yeah.
Mr. Lee,
Yeah, I love this drink.
Where you
Chance
put my
with you. I
bag
like
at?
when you like this, Daddy.
Yeah, where you put my bag
Daddy,
at,
I like
Mr.
when
Lee?
you
It's right here,
scrambling
it's
and
right
scraping. When you
it's right here,
scrambling
it's
and
right
scraping for
here.
shit. No?
Okay, yeah, I'm not gonna go with that one.
Make a
that
wish.
one.
Just blow it out. It's your
No.
birthday every day.
Every day's your birthday on Drink
Okay.
Champs. God damn it, I'm in.
Where I look
Did you
back
miss
on
me?
where I became.
Did you miss me though? For real? Because I'm saying
miss-
it seems like a thing
I
with
miss
this
partying
birthday
with
party,
Puff, man. I
Man,
miss
but I'm talking
partying
about
with
for your
him.
birthday.
Like, I would never say that to a man. I would probably say something like that to Clever Creatrix or Classy Creole, because they're women. And I'm not saying I would say that, but they're women. I would probably say that. If I'm gonna say that, I'm gonna say that to a woman. But I don't, even then, if a woman is scraping for shit, and I told y'all about dudes eating booty earlier. Yeah, you shouldn't be scraping for no shit, okay? Like, come on now. Classy Creole says, "Don't none of y'all ever ask me to come party with y'all." Well, I mean, hey. I mean, I don't know. If I was single and Classy was single, you know, hey, I don't see no foul in that. I mean, that's normal. That's a man and woman going to party. You know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't I just can't get past, why would you say that to another man?
Why won't you party with me for your birthday, man?
Why won't you party with me for your birthday, man? Like, who? What grown man is asking another grown man? I have never said that to any of my good friends. Why won't you party with me for your birthday? I have never said that to any of my good friends that I've known for 10, 15, 20 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get that. Scrambling and scraping for shit.
Yeah, we partied for my birthday before. You came to my.
Oh, Serenity Marlene, thank you for joining us. I hope you hit that like button and I hope you subscribe to the channel. Thank you for stopping by.
Party.
No, but me and you ain't never really party. You know what I'm saying? Eyes.
We ain't never really partied. And mind you, in this clip, Diddy is wearing he's wearing that same Yankee hat and sunglasses that he was wearing in the room with the Punisher. Like, that is just insane, man. That is just, yo, that's crazy, man.
Eyes, brother.
Oh, man.
Eyes. I understand.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Niggas in the
Yo,
world.
okay. So check this out. It's me, Tyrese, Gray J, and F. Gary Gray. You know, I'm a type of nigga, I like variety, man. I like people that's unpredictable. You know what I'm saying? I like different personalities. So I was like, I never knew they would become what they are today. But you know what I'm saying? But like, you know, that sounded like the type of night I want to have in Vegas. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
So
Oh. First of all, like, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Why is this nigga even talking about what happened in Vegas? I personally, this is zone. I can't tell y'all how many times I done been butt naked in one of them skyscraper windows, smashing something out. I will never tell y'all about those times, except I just did. And I'm probably going to do it again and again and again and again. And for those of you listening, don't judge me, because in the Bible, it says to wipe the plank out of your own eye before you go and you try to wipe the plank out of your brother's eye, out of somebody else's eye. And I ain't the only one doing it, damn it. Everybody doing it when they go to Vegas. You get up on the 20th, the 17th floor of one of them hotels, you get to looking at that view. You get to looking at that view. And, you know what I mean? Got a nice little shorty with you. You like, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I'm bending you over that chair tonight. When the skyline's set, we can see the lights. Oh yeah, them blinds is coming open, and yeah, I'm bending you over that chair tonight. These blinds gonna be wide open. And look, see, I will talk about this stuff because first of all, I'm grown. All right. First of all, I'm grown. And again, I'm not one of these people that's going to try to act like I'm holier than thou. I don't care. I'm confessing my sins, goddammit. Or I'm confessing the ones that I can say publicly. That, you know what I mean? Like, that's why I be trying to hear, I be looking at some of these content creators. They be trying to, act like they ain't never did nothing, raunchy like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, shit. Like, people, like, you gotta understand, sex is normal. Okay, interaction between man and woman is normal. Ain't no shame in talking about that. Like, at least I'm talking about that and I'm not rubbing man milk on my chest. Like, which one sounds more normal to you? Me going to Vegas and being on the 17th floor and smashing a shorty with the blinds wide open like everybody else does, or me putting man milk on my nipples? Which one sounds more normal? I mean, I think me bending a shorty over a chair in Vegas with the blinds open as we look at the skyline, I think that's more normal than me putting man milk on my nipples like Diddy. That sounds more normal to me. I'm not ashamed of saying that. I never claimed or professed to be holier than thou. I'm just saying. And I'm gonna keep it real. The content creators or the people that try to act like, you know what I mean, that they ain't never done that before, or they don't be doing nothing wrong. You know what I mean? Them the ones that be doing everything wrong. Them the ones that was at the Diddy parties. Them the ones that be having Diddy parties. You know what I'm saying? I have titty parties, they have Diddy parties. That's the difference. That's the difference. Like, Hell, I done made it. I done made it this far. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Shit. I'm trying to think of something else I could do. Maybe I could sneak over to the Grand Canyon and wait until the park shuts down. Wait until everybody's out the park. Me and my shorty, you know. I say, let me not say that. Let me not get myself in trouble. Me and my shorty go on one of them cliffs and, you know, put on a show. I'm serious. I'll be thinking of stuff like that. Like, I'm not boring. Like, I don't just like to do stuff in the bedroom. I be trying to figure out new shit to do. I'm trying to figure out how I can get on a private beach where ain't nobody coming around, walking around. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to do all of that shit. You know, but see, the difference is I'm not using no Diddy oil. I'm not putting no man milk on my chest. I'm not putting on no hijab and beating off in the corner. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing none of that shit. Now, I might put applesauce on my hamburger sometime. Wait, did I say too much? Is there somebody else that puts applesauce on their? Did y'all hear about that? Is there somebody else that puts apple on their hamburger sometime? Diddy puts applesauce on his hamburgers. I take that back. I lied. I don't like applesauce on my hamburgers. I don't like applesauce on my hamburgers. And you know the funny thing too, right? The funny thing too, I supposed to been wrap this live up because I got shit to do. But you know the funny thing, I'm gonna be honest, right? You don't have to force women to do anything. Women love sex and they like sexual activity just as much as men do. They probably like it even more. You know what I'm saying? They probably like it even more. So it's no point to, like, I'm talking about doing something on a Grand Canyon cliff where we both can fall off. You know, imagine me giving a shorty back shots on a cliff at I was about to say the Black Canyon. Hey, maybe I should name my tape that, the Black Canyon. What y'all think about that? Y'all think that would sell? Zone presents The Lonely Road in the Black Canyon. Imagine me banging my shorty in the Grand Canyon on the cliff, and I give her that final black shot, black shot. I give her that final back shot, and it's the final one for both of us. I'm like, oh, hooray! Pop, 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 pop. Oh shit! Oh, boo. Hey, that's just like the episode of Fresh Prince where Trevor was trying to propose to Hillary and he jumped out the airplane and he was like, "Hillary Banks, will you marry?" Boom. He died while parachuting out the airplane. His parachute didn't go off. But I'm gonna keep it honest, man. A lot of women, they like to do stuff more than dudes do. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just do. And this is why I don't understand why men have to, I don't understand why you have to pay for stuff and give women drugs and, try to get her drunk and all of that kind of crazy stuff, because all that does is get you a sex trafficking trial. And you know something funny? I don't believe in kissing and telling. I don't believe in kissing and telling. I don't. What for? I want niggas to think I'm an incel. I want them to think I'm a virgin. I want them to think I ain't never put my face in between no legs. I want them to think I'm an incel. I want them to think I ain't never put my face between no chick's chest. I want them to think that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, some of y'all see me in these other channels acting clean and tidy. Well, hello there, Mr. Izzy Vance. How you doing? Hi, Corey Love. How are you in the name of the Holy Spirit? Hey there, angry man. How you doing? Hope life's treating you well. Ha ha ha. And then y'all come over here and y'all be like, this nigga is a certified freak. What the? But you see what, but listen, let me see. Clever Creatrix says you won't see Corey. You won't see this in Corey. Oh yeah, absolutely not. Hey, believe it or not, I strive to be more like Corey every day, man. Corey's an honorable guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm old, but I'm still young. You know what I mean? Corey is like a fully realized, mature dude. Like on his 20th kid. Like I only got, 1.5 kids. Corey been mature for a long time. You know what I'm saying? I'm still trying to get there. You know what I'm saying? So but yeah, but even though I am, talking kind of spicy, talking kind of raunchy, I still know how to keep that balance and not get too like inappropriate with the words. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know, maybe that shows some maturity. You know what I'm saying? Like I just can't do it. Like I gotta say what's on my mind. I got to say what's on my mind. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. Yeah, I just never understood why you have to pay for women and do all of these things to women. And then listen, a lot of these dudes don't understand is the reason that you get in so much trouble and the reason that women put your business all in the streets and they run to the feds and tell lies is because you put their business out in the street. Like, come on, like, come on. This shorty right here has the reputation that ain't nobody smash her buns, and you finally get the buns. She finally give you the buns, and you run to Facebook and YouTube and Instagram and you post pictures and you want to tell everybody how the shorty that got the bachelor's degree, the master's degree, and the PhD and a good ass corporate job let you smash. Of course she's gonna try to set you up. Of course she's gonna try to embarrass you online. Like, I can't speak for a lot of dudes, but anytime I got a chick that I know that normally a dude can't get, and I'm smashing them buns, I don't say shit. I don't say nothing. Because I'm trying to keep this going for as long as possible. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to keep that going as long as possible. And these chicks they like having their bun smashed. Like they be, you know what I'm saying? Like, but at the same time, they like having their bun smashed, but they don't like the fact that you are putting the fact that you are smashing their buns online like that. Like, I mean, getting a chick getting her bun smashed is normal. Now you tell me which one is normal. A chick getting her bun smashed or Diddy putting man milk on his nipples. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? What I'm talking about is normal. Raj Will says y'all can have the ratchets. Nah, I don't mess with ratchets. Me personally, I don't mess with ratchets. I've had, in the words of Bill Clinton, I have had sexual relations with women who are reputable. And I ain't never said shit about it. I remember one time I was smashing a white woman from Montana. And let me tell you about that, right? So I wasn't even talking to this lady that long. So I go over her house one night and her friend is there. She had it. So, and this lady was like, at the time, she was like 45, you know, of course she had big boobs because that's what I like. So I go over there. I thought it was just going to be me and her. Her friend was over there, another white chick or whatever. But her friend only wanted to be over there because I guess she just wanted to be somewhere, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever. Oh no, they were not fake. This woman, she had 2 children. She had 2 children. And listen, you know, when you have children, depending on your DNA, depending on your body type, sometimes your body expands, right? So her body expanded to her breast. So anyway, and it was funny because we was having a conversation, right? I didn't even realize the shorty that I was talking to had went in her bedroom. So the shorty that I was talking to goes in her bedroom and sends her friend in the living room a text message. Now, it didn't dawn on me that shorty that I was seeing at the time, it didn't dawn my mind that she had been gone for a minute. So I guess she went to the shower. She went to the bathroom to shower and all that. She gonna send her friend a text message to show me talking about some, pardon my language, ladies, but she sent her friend a text message from the bedroom talking about some, I think she wants some dick. Can you send him in here? Some shit like that. She sent her friend that text message to show me. So what do you think I did? Of course, I went in the bedroom. Oh, I will say this, right? I'll say this because I told y'all I never been in a situation. I never been in a situation where I ain't never let no dudes watch me, right? With their chicks. I ain't never been in no voyeurism stuff or nothing like that, right? But here's the funny thing, right? So the living room and her room wasn't that far away. So I go in and what's up, King's daughter? Thank you for coming through. Make sure you hit that like button and make sure you subscribe if you would like. I thought I closed the door. So I go in the room. I thought I closed the door all the way. And, you know, I start taking off my clothes or whatever. You know, ass all out. You know what I'm saying? BBC all hanging down. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I mean, I'm beating on my chest. Ah! No, I was just playing. I wasn't doing all that. And I thought I closed the door, but I get, you know how sometimes the little thing is weak. So the door opened. So I take off my clothes. That was the first and only voyeurism experience I ever did. I was ever a part of. I took off my clothes. I started giving the shorty I was there to see that business. And I didn't realize her friend was sitting right there watching through the goddamn peak. The peep, the crack. So I didn't realize that her friend was sitting right there watching. You know, I'm sitting here thinking I'm putting on a show for the chick that I got, only to find out that I am the motherfucking show. So that was a good time though, you know what I'm saying? Like that was a good time, you know what I'm saying? I'm over here thinking that the door shut and it didn't shut all the way. So yeah. So I went over, you know what I'm saying? I handled my business. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm guilty as charged on this one. When I was about to get done, right? When I was about to be like, before I was about to get done, right? I had saw her out my peripheral that she was watching. So right when I was about to finish, right? When I caught her peeping, right? That actually gave me a little bit more energy and that turned me on a little bit more than I expected. And that, like, I can't really explain it. But I gave that white woman the business. I gave that mayonnaise the business. I gave that mayonnaise the business. I was like, oh shit. I was like, oh bitch, you want to watch? Oh, I'm finna put on a show for you, bitch. Sit your ass right there. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So if y'all ever go on X videos, I'm just kidding. Clever Creature says, not the mayonnaise. Come on now. At least I can't stand ranch. I can't stand the way that ranch smells. Ranch stinks. My girl be eating ranch sometimes. I'm like, if you don't get that ranch breath out of my face, ugh. I be wanting to throw up when I smell ranch. There can only be one me. Can't nobody do your body like this. There can only be one me. Can't nobody do your body like this. Mm-hmm. Hey, I ain't even gonna lie. You know, sometimes when fellas, we be into it, right? We be stroking, right? We be stroking. And the funny thing about it, now that I think about it, I did hear the door squeak a little bit. I did hear the door squeak a little bit. And but it's funny because like sometimes you be so into it, you hear stuff but you just don't be paying attention to what's going on in the background. Yeah, but that was a good time, man. That was a time. And I tell you, the only problem that we had was she wanted a full committed relationship, like right away after that. And I'm like, yo, like, come on, like. And see, I'm gonna keep it honest with you, right? Like, I know they say, you know, you're a hoe if you give it up on the first time or whatever. But this woman was in her mid 40s and she got 2 kids. She ain't, trust me, she is not trying to go through with all that virtuous shit and waiting 3 dates and, you know, all of that kind of stuff. No, she wants it right then and there if she's feeling you. Because she don't know when the next time is going to be. And this is what I was saying. See, early in life, see, women have all their fun. They get all their experience early. It's not until we get about 29, 30. That's when men really start really having their experience. You know what I mean? That's when men really start becoming passport bros to go trick outside the country and, you know, pay for some Colombian coochie. You know, that's when we get our paper right. Now we can afford to do all the things that women do for free. And I'm definitely not a passport bro. I never claimed to be a passport bro. I never really understood that, to be honest. Like, I understand it because I've been outside the country a few times, but you know, hey, I remember my first time I went to Mexico to Puerto Peñasco. And you know, the funny thing is I'm thinking it's gonna be different. I'm like, God damn, I could have stayed in Arizona for this shit. This shit looked just like Arizona. No grass, dirt everywhere, cactuses everywhere. Except they had more roaches. That's the one difference between Arizona and Mexico. They got more roaches over there. Like, you gotta be careful, man. You could be in the highest star resort or hotel. They still got roaches. Oh, but what I was gonna say is, see, I just be skipping my train of thought. I don't think that women that give it up, especially if they're like a certain age, that give it up on the first time or even second time, I don't think they're 304s. Because you got to understand, women like that have children and all that. Like, this lady done been married, divorced. You think she trying to get all? No, she trying to get what she can get. Like, sexual interaction between men and women is normal. You know what I mean? Now, if this chick is like, I'm gonna be honest, right? Because I teach my daughters not to, I teach them not to have sex. I teach them not to have sex. I can't be there all the time, but I'm gonna keep it real. Like, if you're a chick and you actually have a father, or you come from a background where you're taught to hold your virginity until marriage, and then you get you know 18, 19, you know, 20, and you give up the draws early, I'm gonna be honest, that might make you a 304 early because you've been groomed. See, is a woman that's 40 and up, to me, that doesn't make her a 304. Because y'all got to understand, women in their 40s, they be working, 50 hours, 60 hours a week. You know what I mean? Their schedule is different. See, when you're young like that, 18, 19, 20, 21, your virtue is your leverage. Your virtue is your leverage. Well, see, clever, listen, you see the ages I said 18, 19, 20. I said 18, 19, 20. I'm just saying because I got a daughter that's going to be 17 in October and she'll be 18 next year, right? And I have a daughter that's in college now. I don't know what my daughter is doing in college, but I know what she's been taught. She can tell me she ain't doing this, that, and the third, but she could be lying. I don't know. But what she's been taught is that her leverage is her virtue. You know what I'm saying? Why would you want to lose you're going to have a lifetime of sexual intimacy as a woman. You're going to have a lifetime of that. So why would you want to give that up so early and risk, and risk altering your life so quickly? You see what I'm saying? Women that are older, they like, you know what I'm saying? They meet a young guy like me. They're like, oh, okay, I'll give it up. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's different. Mid 40s, 40 years old, already had kids, already been married, divorced. You know what I'm saying? She's working all the time. She finally get a chance to get some dick. All right, come on. But a chick that's like 18, 19, 20, that's just getting started in life. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's your virtue. That's your virtue. So you can't hold a young woman who has her whole life ahead of her, and a woman that's 40 and up, really a woman that's late 30s and up, to the same standards, especially after a woman has done had kids, been in friends with benefits relationships, married, divorced. You know, it's different standards. You know what I'm saying? Raj Will says, bro, my daughter is grown. I don't think about that shit. I taught her everything she needed to know. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, like, I think about it all the time for me, Raj, because my daughters are young. Well, one of them is grown, but, for the young one that's going to be a senior in high school, I'm like, I think about that all the time because I'm not trying to be raising no grandbaby. Like, I don't have no sugarcoat conversations with my kids. None of them. Like, they if they come to me and they want to know what something is, I'm gonna tell them. Like, if you don't tell them, they're gonna find out somewhere, some way, some kind of way. See, here's the thing, right? When we have sons, we try to give them the game when it comes to life and when it comes to women and when it comes to finance, right? We try to give them the game when we have sons, men have sons. But we have to have that same energy when we have daughters too. We have to give our daughters game. And I'm not talking about the kind of game that's like, get your degree so you don't need no man, learn how to do this so you don't need no man, blah, 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 blah. I ain't talking about that kind of game. I'm talking about the kind of game that's saying, he's not responsible for sex, you are. Because a lot of these women, like to put the blame on men for getting them pregnant. Well, he couldn't get you pregnant if you didn't open your legs to him in the first place. So we have to put the responsibility in their lap young. We have to understand that they got to be responsible for their actions, and there's consequences for their actions young. So they don't end up being a Cassie, or they don't end up being a young Miami, or any one of these chicks that want to sit there and turn state's witness when shit started to go left. You know what I'm saying? Like I would tell my daughter, like, for instance, I would tell any one of them. They come to me and they tell me that their husband isn't paying them any attention. Are you screwing them? Are you making sure he's happy? Are you taking care of his needs? Or did you fall in some type of feminist trap talking about some deny your husband what he naturally wants? What are you doing that's making him act like that? Like that you have to talk like that to your children. Once they're adults, of course. Like, you can't sugarcoat shit. You can't say, well, honey, he'll come around. Like, what kind of advice is that? If you're doing everything that you possibly can to make that man happy and to make that man's life easier, and there's still problems, that means now there's a problem with him. There's something going on with him. There's something that he might need to talk to somebody about. I'm just saying. But listen, y'all. Listen. Make sure y'all hit that like button, man. I appreciate y'all for coming through. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Share my shit if you want to. We're gonna try to pick up the second part of this tomorrow. Part 2 of Gene Deal telling. In the week four of the Diddy trial. You know what I'm saying? If it's one thing that we learned from this Diddy trial thus far, is don't be putting man milk on your nipples, man. That's kind of strange. That's kind of weird. And we all perverts behind closed doors. I don't care how Christian, Muslim, Buddhist you are. We all perverts behind closed doors. That's perfectly normal. As long as there's nothing illegal, as long as no one is getting hurt, and as long as everything is consensual. All right. Follow me or subscribe to me, Zone 864 TV on YouTube, Zone 864 Live on Instagram. And I would tell y'all another place that you can follow me too, but all I do is post titties over there. So I ain't gonna tell y'all that other place. Hey, but appreciate y'all rocking out with me. Hope y'all have a safe evening. See y'all next time. Peace.